All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are getting ready to get started with another stream from my main world. And it's actually just about to be nighttime, so have to sleep in just a moment. How is everybody doing today? We've got Relic in the chat. We've got Danny in the chat. Hello. And thanks for being here. So excited to be streaming today. Don't normally do weekend streams, although I've been doing a lot more weekend streams recently. So we'll see what we can do today. I've got some things planned because this is actually the 4-year anniversary of me uploading my first video from this world. And so I thought it's the perfect time to go around and we're going to document some of the significant things that we've done. So different projects, we're going to be going over, when did we do this project? What are some interesting facts about the project? And we're going to be documenting those and doing little builds to put those together. So excited that everyone could be here. We've got so many people in the chat already. That's amazing. Got Danny, who's just joining because he can't normally make it to the late ones. So yeah, that's true. Those are pretty late. 11 p.m. right now. Oh, it's still really late for you too. Well, yeah. I do like to be able to do some of these ones on the weekend because it gives just a little bit more time for people who can't otherwise make the other What in the world? What is happening over here? Why? Okay, well, this is a great start to our world. It's on fire. What a disaster. We're starting off with a building leaving this world. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no! I don't understand why there's a fire here. I do know that there's lava there, but that lava has been there forever. Oh, and we've got iron golems spawning up here too. This build is, while we're talking about how long this world has been around, this build has been in this world for a really, really long time, and none of this has ever happened. So, what a start. It is a chaotic start. Our building is burning down. And as you might be able to tell from the fact that there is an iron golem on the roof, this is an iron farm. This was the original iron farm. Hold on. I don't have an axe with me at the moment. We're going to just break these before they burn. Maybe we can get up. I had noticed when I first came over here that this build was missing a roof, and I thought it would have been because of a lightning strike. Well, we're going to have to fix that. We also have another build over here that needs to be fixed, which is this windmill, which also burned down. Projects for another day. After that exciting start, any sort of light I'm going to see now, I'm going to think something's burning. This is my starter base area. And the plan for today is to go through... Yeah, he was trying to help. He's doing his best, but not his forte. Yeah, okay. Well, we're not going to worry about that. Anyways. Not that one either. There we go. Okay. What I was going to say was, so the plan, let's cover the plan. What are we doing today? Well, what we're going to do today is, as I was saying, we're going to go around, we're going to document things. We're going to be building little things to be able to put our documentation on. So I've got a bunch of different stuff in here. Got building blocks, got more building blocks. Let me see. We've got a bunch of books and quills. And we've got lecterns. We're going to get our book and quills. We've got some torch flowers, which I think would be good flowers to put around what we're going to add. And we're going to just add little lecterns with details. So that way we're going to know things. And the first place we're going to start, obviously, is at the beginning with the starter base. Now, the very first episode started June 20th of 2022. That was our starter base here. So we're going to first need to find a place where we can put this little stand. Where would be a good place to do that? Maybe inside, right here. Because this is not a bed that ever gets used. But we can put the lectern here. We can put our book on here, and now we can write. So we can add in some. Actually, we can't take the book. I have to do the writing in here. All right. So starter base built. We're gonna just. It was probably built before June 20th, but the video released on June 20th, so that's the date we're going to use as the starting date for when things are built. Too bad at detailing. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I'm great. Welcome. Glad you're here. Interesting details. Well, the starter base, the very first episode was recorded in the Bedrock edition. So this is a replica of the starter base. Replica, original starter base. There we go. That's our interesting fact. We're going to sign it. Starter base. Sign and close. There we are. It has now been recorded. I do think in order to signify that, we're going to switch out this oxide daisy. We're going to put our torch flower here. And because we can't really put it in the ground, obviously, because it's a house. We do have a few things still here. Useful things. Fishing chest. One thing we have learned is that we're going to need to do a little bit of a repair job on a few buildings here. So we built, originally it was our starter base here. We have our cows, always a good food source. We recently did the world tour, so we probably don't need to walk back. Well, we'll show some things that weren't included in the world tour. So one of the things that wasn't included in the world tour was this little cottage over here, and this was my original wood farm. So there's spaces to grow trees. Obviously, you can tell the large spruce trees were growing here. I've got a cocoa bean farm here, which I don't think I've ever come back to use since I built it. Good to know though, because I was actually getting brown dye. When was I getting brown dye? It was recent, within the last month. So I gotta remember that. And then we had just a little storage in here. So, you know, this was a nice little cottage. One of the things that I like to do when I have small builds, if I don't necessarily want to have a window, is I put trapdoors, just like there'd be windows here, because normally you could, well, one of the things you can do with trapdoors is you can make them look like shutters, but a lot of times you have it open so you can have the window. So if you want to not have a window, just put the trapdoors against the wall so the shutter's closed and it looks like there's a window, but you don't need to, you free up that wall space on the interior. 10 days in your hardcore world so far. Oh, great. That's amazing. Nice job. Those first 10 days are rough. So hard. I've had many worlds that I failed out before the 10-day mark. Some of them on stream too. Here we are. We've got a nice little barn. This was the second build that I did in this world. We're not going to really signify that. We're going to just signify things that were big, momentous things. Either that or big projects that were really big, significant, or hard to accomplish. This was the original storage room, and still one of my favorite storage rooms. It's just good, compact design. And I did different blocks in the center so I'd be able to tell without having to go in and look at each of the individual chests, what the room was for. So the diamond was, this was my valuable one. So taking out a lot of the stuff that was in here and moved it. Still have a few things here. Honeycomb. Yeah. Miscellaneous things over here. Ooh, we've got some music. My original horse. Still use it occasionally. Cloudhopper. Has survived in this world for many a year. Maybe we should put something here for that. There's a Cloudhopper. Let's see. Cloudhopper. My original horse. Now, I don't know the date because I didn't look this up. So I don't know how long I've had him, but he has been... Horse. He's been here for a while. We've had many an adventure. Let's do that. That looks a little odd having it so close to there. Create some space. Maybe we should get some of our other blocks out of here. Get some. I've got some coarse dirt somewhere. Let's see. Dirt. Do that. Just a little something. And all right. I'll have to come back and update this with the date that I first got Cloudhopper. But Cloudhopper's been around. I didn't have an elytra for a long time. So this is my honeycomb farm. Still going strong. Let's actually check. What's it doing that? Oh, completely full. Ah. Yeah. I'll have to come through here and empty it out because it's working overtime. All right. Last video helped a lot. Oh, nice. I'm glad. Always glad when a video can help out with something. All right. So we're headed over to our villager trading home. Because that was the first big project I did in this world. Did a lot of just... well, these were all of my initial builds. So you can kind of see the scale. But I wanted to do something big. Do I have pets like a wolf or a cat? The only pet that I actually have, well, Cloudhopper is the only named pet. Boy, we picked up a lot of speed there. But I recently got a, not an axolotl, a... What are they called? The new ones that swim. Why am I blanking on their name? They're shells. Nautilus. It was a Nautilus. Boy, that was hard. I think I'm getting old. Brain doesn't work as fast as it used to. All right. Here is a villager trading hall. It does look so much better with shaders, with the sculk blocks in the ceiling. Originally, I didn't have these. There's lights behind those trapdoors, and I didn't have those lights there, but it was so dark, you couldn't really see any of the details, so I had to light it up a little bit. Even though we do have these sort of flaming light sources in the middle. So we're going to need a place to put a lectern. I feel like a perfect place to put a lectern would be right down here at this end of the building. Ooh. Oh, we just had torches. Huh? I did not have a lot of resources when I built this. So I dug out this space. The interesting thing about this, well, let's first get our book. And we'll talk about it. Where's our book? Got lots of books. We're gonna start with this one. Okay. Interesting thing. So, Villager Trading Hall. Built September 18th, 2022. Dug out the mountain without a beacon. So, still had enchanted diamond tools, but they were enchanted diamond tools without a beacon. So it was a bit of a project. That was the interesting fact about that. Oh, didn't sign the book. Sign. There we go. Now, lunge 3. It's so fun using that. Oh yeah. Oh no, a creeper killed you. Oh no. The other, and this is not an interesting fact that we're gonna record, but when I was building it, I did mess up a couple of times. So I built this before I was using like Attica, and I would, if I planned out a build in advance, I'd just be using sort of screenshots of the build to try to build it in survival. And so there were a couple of things that I did wrong. First, I initially built the pillars the wrong width apart. And then they were built, this space right here was done not correctly, which required just a little bit of a redesign. So this was supposed to look slightly different from how it did. There was going to be, and I can't remember exactly how it was different, but it was slightly different from how it was planned. But yeah, still a favorite. Like coming down here. I come down here all the time. Oh, actually, Celebrity Sailboat, thank you so much for the gift memberships. That's amazing. 5 gift memberships. Super awesome. We have to take the book. We're gonna have to do this book over. Because, all right, let's do Trading Hall. I forgot. Trading. Okay, built. I was gonna do it this way. September 18th, 2022. Completed. Well, it helps if I don't have spelling errors as well. We don't want to have a spelling error in here. Forgot to put the completion date. I won't always put the completion date. It's usually the same. But May 2026 completed. Let's do that. All right. That's the other interesting fact. Built with dug out the mountain or the trading hall with no beacon. There we go. Houses detail that can't plan how to make sad. Oh, I'm sorry, Crate. That's so sad. Yeah. So with this one, this area over here where we've got these villagers, on the other side wasn't completed for a long time. So the second floor on this, on both sides actually, wasn't completed. And it was only completed back in May, where I got everything finished up. So the other thing that I didn't show in the tour was this little conversion area. Left a block here. So that's where we get the villagers converted over to zombies. Less useful now that you can only do it once. And then this is where the villager breeder is down there. There we go. You gotta plan those big builds, please. Oh, I do have a video about planning out big builds. I actually have a couple on that go over how I design big builds, interiors of big builds. All right. Next destination. We're going to go over here to our villager village. I call it the villager village, mostly just because it was built for villagers. There was an original, just a village that I transformed over here. And this was a fun project. But it's got all of the little stations inside for them to be able to trade with, and I was trading with them for a little bit. I built this before I built the villager trading hall. We even have... Yep, we've even got stuff in here. But you can see all the beds. Yeah, potatoes. Oh, okay. Nice. This part never completed, but we could actually put something here, and this is where we'll put our lectern. So we will be... Excuse me, I'm trying to work here. First, Iron Golem's trying to help me put out the fire without actually putting out the fire. And now this one's seeing what we're up to. All right, let's get... I think actually we're going to... I have some different blocks that I want to use for this. Not the books and quills. Might be not in that one. This one? Yes. Let's grab a couple of those. Do something like that. And we could do maybe a little bit of that. Oh, I'm sorry, Great. That's so sad. But good luck with the new one. You can do it. All right. So I think on these dirt blocks, let's see if we can place our torch flowers up here. Oh, we can. Perfect. All right. And then I feel like we got to do something back here. For a different background, we can... don't know that I want to use deep slate for that, but we might as well. We might as well. It's just the perfect block. Perfect block for almost everything. Now what we could do is if we got some stairs like that, maybe. Which would then mean taking out these. That's what that would mean. All right. And I don't really have a plan here. We're just building. Seeing if we can come up with something that looks halfway decent. But just a little... Really, I guess it's just a shrine that we're building here. Okay. And then maybe... I have... Is it this one? Not even that one. Is it this one? Oh, it is this one. Okay. I wanted that... Oh, I didn't want to put that there. I want to put this block... that. Now, we can put our lectern here. Oh, you know what we should get? We should get some candles. Or no, maybe we'll do soul lanterns. All right. Like that. And then I think we need to do... a little something up here. Perhaps just a little bit like that. And maybe we'll have this come out. It's a bit like that. Okay. Now, does that look horrible? It does. We're gonna have to fix it. Sleep first so that we don't have any mobs spawning in, harming our villagers here. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. We go further out, and then we grab our walls. We do that. That also looks horrible. Maybe we don't do that. It's all bad. I mean, that's better. Okay. Not great, but it's better. Maybe... So mad about losing my world. Falling when sand gave way in cave. Oh, celebrity sailboat. That's rough. Sorry about that. That's a terrible way to go. All right. So I think that's a nice little shrine, I guess. And we can fill this in. Okay. Gotta take the book first. So, village transformation. What do we got about that? Well, this was built August 5th, 2022. Interesting things. All right, so all of the mining, no, of the terraforming and village removal completed with stone tools. So it's pretty early on. I didn't have a lot of tools to be able to use. Hadn't gotten to diamond gear yet. Had just a little bit of iron. So dug it all out with stone tools, which is why our moat is not the biggest moat. Oh, yes, yeah. Balloon wasn't there. Balloon is surviving, happy and well. So there we go. Got ourselves a little something now at the end of this drawbridge, which I think is the perfect place for that. There's actually something there now, which almost 4 years. All right. One other thing that we can take a look at, which may be of interest. Over here is my original mine. In this chest, you can see all of, well, other than the diamonds. And we're going to get into why this is not the original diamond armor. But this is my first set of wood tools, first set of stone tools, iron gear, leather, chainmail. These were just collected from zombies. The gold, because I wouldn't craft up gold or use gold tools or armor because it just has really low durability. These were just found from chests in the ruin portals. That's where all those came from. I should probably put these somewhere because they're a little bit significant, have some historical value. But this staircase was one that leads down, and to about here, my first stream actually was decorating this staircase. And we recently finished it up. So it actually goes pretty well. And we go over here. And this is the end of the decorations, but we've got some farms down here. But where it gets interesting is if we continue to go down. And down all the way to the bottom of the world. This is my original deep slate mining area. But these little cubby holes, when I first started, or a little bit after I started, I was going through, and when I would record the intro to videos, I would build a little cubby like this where I'd do my intro, and I'd stand and I'd record. And I would base the blocks that I would use off of whatever we were building for that episode. For this one, I think this was when I got built the gold farm. This one was when I did the villager training hall. So you can see episode 16 intro. I started marking it with that one. Got 15. So I guess 17. That'd be 17. And I just didn't put the sign in. This might have been the gold farm. This looks more like gold farm. So, and then we've got the other ones down here. I didn't put the signs in these ones. That's an oversight. This was important. This was the mob farm. Start of the city. When I built the statues. Yeah. With the shields. That's what that one was. But I don't do that for the intros anymore. But that's what those are for. Wow. Just leaving diamonds in the ceiling. Who knew? Those have been there for a while. And then the other thing that's down there is there's an ancient city down there too. But it's all been looted, I think. Oh, yeah. And then if you didn't see where I was decorating this block right here, it looks like an oak block, but it's actually a crafting table. And that's all throughout here. So that's can't reach it. That's a crafting table, crafting table, crafting table. Little secrets. All right. I think that is our starter area. Let me see if there's any other places we want to go here. I don't think so. So we're now going to head off to the end and... Oh, yes. Okay. Now we covered this in the world tour, but we also need to mark it. Headed. I've got to come up with a better system for keeping the snow off of here. That's the only reason I have these torches out. But that'll be... There is a long list of projects for another time. Those torches are one of them. Okay. Here we are. Our stronghold. We're gonna head down into the end. Take a shortcut. Coming out into this room is still one of my favorite rooms to walk into. Works so well, that hallway entrance. Get you focused. All right. We've already got a lectern book here. This is the story here. We're not going to read through it, but it tells the story of the end. is he up here? He should not be able... Attention. Oh, maybe he can. Okay. Most of this area is spawn proof. So avoid having Endermen out on it. Which is why there are these slabs the way that they are. Aw, thanks, Celebrity Sailboat. Yeah, it's one of my favorite rooms. It's one of my favorite builds. One day we're going to go through and we're going to remove the bedrock. So that way these windows are all nice and clean. I should have done it when I was building this, but I was so focused on getting it done. I like walking through here. A lot of purple glass went into this build. So we gotta find a good place. And I don't necessarily want to do it in the main room. I feel like the main room's got its own things. Maybe... Maybe right here. I'm going to actually find... I'm going to do it off of this one. Alright. Put something together here. Oh, I forgot I brought these. Lodestones. Put that here. Our lectern on top of there. Then we can go through and that. And maybe grab these, put that there. That will help to incorporate this into the design. We might actually go ahead and put those on top just so that way it does stay spawn proof, because I don't want Enderman cluttering up the build. All right. So, book and quill. Where's our... There we go. We're going to finish up this one first. Got 3 more. Got to take the book. All right. So, End Island. All right, built. January 7th, 23. So about 6 years after or 6 years, about 6 months. 6 years, woo. I can do math. 6 months after I started the world. Interesting things. Well, defeated, I can spell, defeated the dragon 20 times. Opened all the portals. What else? Lost the dragon egg. And maybe this way. That. There we go. End Island. Oh, I could also wait. Find out all obsidian towers. There we go. Interesting things about that. There we are. Now we can sign and close. Put that on there. We're good to go. Oh, we gotta put the torch flowers somewhere. How to do the torch flowers? Maybe... We do have a little spruce. Not a lot though. I was thinking we might do trapdoors, and I have a couple of planters here, but that's probably not going to be. maybe... if we were to... there. Flowers? How many? We've got 7. Wait, these like that. And then we get... we may have to do it with stone, but there's probably better blocks for this. I'm thinking pale oak would make a better block for this, but we'll put buttons here. Just that. Stepping out for a minute. All right. We'll see you when you get back, Celebrity Sailboat. Portal room. Oh, portal room is a good one. All right. There we go. I think that that's a good little spot for it. It's a nice little addition. Yeah. It works. We've got our torch flowers for all of our spots. And we're back. There. On the right side. One of the things that I didn't do when I was doing the world tour was show how this little system over here works. So in this one, we've got these shulker boxes, which are filled with emergency gear. So under there. Some point I'll go through and I'll upgrade these to netherite, but we've got beds, food, rockets, all the stuff that I would need if I died and I needed to get back to where my stuff was. And then over here, these are filled with bottles of enchanting. So you can go over here and repair up. So it's mostly to be able to repair up the stuff that goes back into here. All right. Well, hello. What do you got? Anything? Nope. Next up. So let's see. We've done starter base. Gotta check that off. Hold on. Checking that off. My goodness. Where did that come from? Did it mess up my redstone? No. Redstone looks good. Well, this stream has not been kind to my starter base area. We have burnt down my iron farm. We're exploding holes in the terrain. One short. Let's see. All right. We'll see you later, Danny. Thanks so much for stopping by. Glad you can make it to the stream. I'll try to do more on the weekend so you can make it to them. I had a good hour. I know how it is. It's some... All right, let's see. Did I have that? Was it like that? What was that? I don't remember. We'll leave it as the wide one for now. All right. Well, as I was saying, let's see. So we're checking off Villager Village, the Trading Hall, the End Island. Oh, obviously. The next one is a big one. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. I think the best way will be to fly off this way. We're gonna follow this road. Maybe we'll put a little signpost next to this road under this tree over here. I forgot about this road as being something. And I don't remember the date. This is another one that I didn't look up. This is sort of on the fly. We're going to do this one. Well, I didn't want to do that. I should really get an X out. Considering what we're placing. What I wanted to get was our torch flowers. We're going to put one here, one here. This is a little one. And okay. All right. The road. We're just going to call it the road. Built. Let's see. I would say this was built probably. We're going to November 2024. I don't remember the exact date. Over 2,000 blocks long. There we go. The road. Suppose we're gonna put that there. We can walk along our road. So along this road is where I did a little bit of, some projects off to the side. We've got this tower over here, and I've been looking at this tower a lot. I think we're going to make some changes to that at some point. There's some other things that we could do, but we've got our road kind of goes through here. And along some parts of it, we did do some custom detailing. Through this forest, we mostly just planted a bunch of grass and flowers along the side using bone meal. But there's slabs all across, so you don't even have to jump when you're going along the road. Got some retaining walls through here because it's a little bit of a slope. And then along this river here, we built some trees that were supposed to be willow trees. They could be better. Got another retaining wall here. And then up here, we're going to get to a little bit of a custom birch forest. So I added in some custom birch trees, which are just these little ones here using diorite walls. Nice way to kind of break up. Added in some birch logs before they did the fallen logs in the Java edition. Just little sights to see as you go along the road. And we wound our way through. Tried to do it as if I was planning it out and walking along it actually. So if there were, steeper terrains or trying to work with the terrain is building up the road. Came along here with this river on this side. Got this little inn right here. Little detail about this is that this is actually from a world that I had before I started my channel, and I always liked it. It was one of the last things that I built there, and I wanted to bring it into this world, and it seemed like a good way. So this is supposed to be just a little inn where travelers would stop along the way. There's not really any interior decorating on it. Then we can continue on. We've got a few bridges along our road too. This is the biggest bridge. Goes up and over. Deep, slate, and tough. Great combination. Can't go wrong with it. There's a village over here. At some point, I might actually transform this village. That might be a fun project to do. So we got our road kind of goes up over there, but the actual road, that's the road to the village. This road winds its way on through here. Here we've got some more retaining walls. And then we've got another bridge. This was a little bit of a smaller bridge, crossing the ravine. Coming out into this sort of plains meadow area. Built in some custom oak trees. These are some big trees. Did a little bit of decorating in the water here. So this is more of like a marshy, swampy area. Not really swampy. Marshy is probably the better word. So it's just... And third and final bridge. Tried to do different designs for each of these. Although, sticking with the deep slate and tough. Great combination. It's a very low bridge. I always thought of it as the type of bridge where it wouldn't necessarily be above a flood if the river flooded. Just meant to last through the flood and be there once the waters went back down. Now over here, we've got the staircase for the road. Get up over this sort of mountain area. Mountain slash hill. Hill slash mountain. Kind of just zigzags up the hill until you get to here. And I really wanted to do that because then when you come around this bend, our city is right there. Just kind of opens out into the city. See it there? So wanted to have the road come through here to be able to really emphasize, give you a nice view of the city as you walk into it. And we've got what will eventually be the entrance. This will be the entrance here. But we've got a long ways to go to get the city up to that point. Got some plans for what I'm going to do in that entrance. And that might be, well, the next video that we've got will be coming out later today. But the video after that, we're going to be actually working on part of the entrance to the city. But the next build that we're going to be putting in a little marker for is this one, the mob farm. Because that was next after I did the end island. I came here and I built this mob farm. Which I rarely am standing down here. How's a tall build? I forget how tall it is because I'm always flying above it or around it. I usually remember how tall it is when I try to fly to the top because, hello, Sniffer. But yeah, that was a fun build. Again, this was one where before I was using Lightmatica to make sure I built builds the same way I planned them. And I only planned out one tower and then, so each of the towers are slightly different, I think. If I remember right? Because it's mostly just going off of measurements for when I would do the transition. And I think there was supposed to be, yes, I think there was supposed to be calcite between the diorite and the quartz, but I forgot to do it. So that's not the interesting fact. The interesting fact, and we're going to put our lectern, I think probably, we should put our lectern right here. We're going to have 2 lecterns around this. This is the first one. Got one more book and quill in here. Let's put that there. Always forget how these work. All right. Founding mob farm. Let's do that. We'll do mob farm. Built. When did we build this? January 21st, 2023. 3.5 years. We've been in this world, or not in this world. 3.5 years we've been building this city. The first build in the city. There we are. City founding. Tiny close. There we are. Gotta get our torch flowers, and we probably should put something in down here. I think this is a good one. Oh, actually, these are good. These are good blocks for that. And we could do it this way and that way. There we are. And then maybe we get some coarse dirt. I think that would be good because we could do just a little bit of like that. We're gonna need to do a little bit more with this one because this is in the city. There's a little bit more upkeep here. Things are a little bit fancier. All right, and then probably what if we did maybe that and that, and we could do something like that. Should we put in that? I think that works. Okay. That one is there. Gotta check that off the list. March 1st. I'm gonna wait for that one. Ooh, all right. So then we've got a second. Let's remember how we did this, because we're gonna go to the other side and we're going to add in another one. One thing I want to do too at some point is replace this dirt with something else. When I built this mob farm, I wasn't necessarily planning to start a city at this point. I was thinking, you know, this could just be an interesting build to have out in the middle of nowhere. And since it's just going to be a build in the middle of nowhere, we don't need to put anything under here. We can just put some dirt. It's now the center point and the focal point of the city, so dirt may not be the best thing for it. And yeah, I think it might be fun if we were to go over here. See how I've got these swirling patterns over here? I think it'd be fun to do something under the water over on this side. I think that would look good. So that will another future project. Future project number 147. All right. So we did this, there, okay, that there, and we're gonna get our all right. Right along here. That's good. Got coarse dirt. Rooted dirt. I really like the sound of rooted dirt. Sound. Flowers. Gotta get our bushes. All right, there we go. So, now we've got the serious one. Oh, did it again. Okay. For our book and bill, we have. Oh yes. Okay. So. January 17th, 2024, almost, well, more than a year, over a year after we built the mob farm, we did the garden around the mob. Garden. The sniffer garden. Or maybe not that. Maybe garden of sniffers. Built January 17th. Interesting things about it. 4 sniffers started out in the garden. 1 got lost for many months, only to be found. Let's see. Far from home. Far from its home. It far from its home by pure accident. All right. There we are. The garden. Get that applied. There we go. I do like the garden. It's a nice area to walk through. I had been away doing projects over on the Project Nodinium server. And so getting this garden built was for getting reacclimated back into the city. And yeah, it's a nice place to walk around in. All right. But enough of that. We're done with that one, so we're going to make sure that we check that off. Let's see. Is there any more that we want to do into the city? Well, yes, there's several that we're going to do in the city. The next one that we're going to do here is going to be for this build. Not this one, although this one's nice. This is my cactus farm. I like my cactus farm. It's for the build behind the cactus farm or around the cactus farm. Basically, this one. Gotta find a good place. This one will be a little bit of a challenge to put one in because an obvious place to put it would be right here, but because it's on an angle, putting a lectern right here, a little bit, you know, how do you do that? So, where could we put the lectern? Maybe we'll put the well, let's not put the lectern in. Should we put the lectern inside? Let's put the lectern inside. Let's do it. I just placed the block. I didn't want to place the block there. All right. Now one thing. Oh yeah, looks pretty good, doesn't it? All right. We're gonna go over here because this is going to be the middle. This is my storage room. In case you didn't know, this is the storage room. We're going to put over here. Maybe. Here, maybe we'll do 2. 1. And we could do some under. Probably. Oh, this is where it gets. Stairs are hard. Okay. In order to make this look good, we have to essentially take out all of these stairs. And then we've got to start with this one facing here. Like that. Okay. We're just going to do this. It'll be worth it. Oh no, maybe it's not gonna be worth it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I ruined it. At least until I do something about this pile of chests over here. We may have just messed up. It's okay. Okay. Try not to be too upset about it. Yeah. You have to then go this way and then that way. Okay. We'll fix it later. Project 147. Future Project 147. All right. We're going to put those there. And this one there, maybe. And we may, because we're in the storage room, we can get a couple of things that would be useful to have over here. Let's get a couple of these and a couple of these. Okay. So we can put one here, one here, here. Did it wrong. Just, I didn't want to do that. There we go. Where did... There we are. Boom. Okay. Now. Got seeds and oxeye daisies. What am I going to do with those? Alright. Storage room. Oh, you know what? I wasn't planning to do this one, so I don't have the details for it. Fortunately, we can pull up the details fairly quickly, because this one was recently built, and this was a significant build. April 20th. Alright, there we go. Once again, forgetting to do this right. We're going to call this the Storage Palace. Very unoriginal name. Built April. Why does April look wrong? 26. Total block count. 100. Wait. It was... Oh dear. I forgot. Hold on. We can check. I think it was new storage room, right? That's the floor. 18,000 blocks. And then... Oh yeah. 133 plus 36, 39, 69, 169, 169. All right. The storage palace built April 20th, 2026. Total number of blocks 169,000. Yep. The storage room. Sign and close. There we are. Probably, well, not probably. That's the biggest build in the city. Most blocks placed for a single building for me. I've had other projects that were a lot more blocks, but like my medieval city, that in total has a lot more blocks than this one, but wasn't placed all at once. It was placed across 10 videos. That single episode, a lot of blocks. Mostly because there's a lot of leaves. I mean, this big plaza area. Doesn't include the cactus farm. Uh-oh. That's trouble over there waiting to happen. It's a good thing we didn't come out that door. All right. So there's that one. Now, from the new storage room, we're going to go over to the old storage room. And here we are. Ta-da! The old storage room. Now, I'm gonna put this in the center. Let's see. This is not the center. It's not an even number, is it? No. Not there. And here. Okay. So, the old storage room. Built. When was it? January 30th, 2024. Hold up to 1.8 million bucks. But it was never full. So it can hold a lot of blocks, but there were a lot of empty chests in here. There's even more empty chests because I've been moving stuff out of here, or just never move stuff into here. So I do like this storage room. It was very convenient to have these little stations in all of these corners, but there's a lot of empty space and it takes forever to move around it. So when I was building the new one, I was really looking to make it as compact as possible, and but then I built a massive building. So here we are. All right. So that's the old storage room. What else do we have in the city? Anything else in the city? Oh, first house is built. Yes. So for a while, we had just our farms here. So we've got our bamboo farm. We had the cactus farm. We had that farm over there. We might have had the iron farm, which you can kind of see here. Try to go over here to where you can see it. The iron farm right there. But we didn't have houses. And the reason we didn't have houses was because I didn't know what I was going to do for the houses. I had come up with some designs for houses initially, and I didn't like them. They didn't really fit with the design or the theme of the city. They looked a little bit like small houses. So for a long time, I didn't build any houses. And then I built these five houses. So we've got this one right here. We got this one right here. This little one. There's just this little area that we walk through. So that big house. And I was sort of using ancient Roman or houses from ancient Rome as a inspiration for these. Very much not the types of materials that you would expect, but things like using dark oak gates along underneath the eaves of the house. And I think that they worked out pretty well, so I ended up using them for all over the city. We're going to continue doing that. There are even not interiors, but there are some where, yeah, there's no way to get up. I think there's one that has the staircase, I think. Over here, maybe? No. Anyways, so these are the first houses in the city. And I built these 5. And I thought we should mark that somehow. So probably I'm not going to do that there. I do have plans for stuff that's going to go along here. So we gotta find the right I know the right spot for this. This one's going to be semi-hidden. Perfect spot. Right here. In this little courtyard. That's the center. So we can take out these blocks. Let's get our horse dirt. lectern. NJ, hello and welcome. I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well. All right, so we've got the city's first houses built May 15th, 2024. Got inspired by Rome. Inspired by housing. There we are. Sign. First houses. For these houses, I built them all individually without having any pre-planning going into it. And for the rest of the houses in the city, they are also all unique. There's no two that are the same. They do use a lot of the same types of features though, so it's some standardized features, but no two have the same exact setup. And yeah, they're all over the place. 50 houses. There's 50 houses built. Probably have at least another 75 to go. All right, but those are the first houses, so that's good. Got that. Check that one off. Any more? Oh, yep. There's a big one left. Nether Bastion. That's not the one that's left. See, I am Detroit. Here. Yeah, thanks for the offer. Not really looking for anything at the moment. So our next one and the last one we're going to do for the city is for this project over here, the lake. And this was a big one. It's not quite complete yet. Still have things that we're doing for it, but this one took a long time. Month and a half, 150 hours, 1 million, over 1 million blocks mined out. And yeah, that was a special build. Now, what I'm thinking we're going to do is we're going to go down, maybe not into this one. This is some of the decoration that we did on a stream on Monday for underneath the water. And it looks pretty good. You can see we got some candles in here for decorations. Going to go over here. There's our friend, my other pet, Stripey, the Nautilus. But what we're going to do is we're going to come down here. Oh, looks good. And I was thinking, if we can do the lectern, doing it underneath in one of these caves could be the perfect spot. Because we were talking about on the stream last time, doing something in the cave to make it worth a reason for you to go down into it. And so maybe we'll do it on this one. This might be the perfect cave for this. Let's top off on the air. All right. So here we go. Back down. Now, we could put, can we put, well, we can put the lectern for sure. I know we can do that. How's that look without shaders? Doesn't look great without shaders. Can we do okay, so let's do this. The lake project. Part 1. We gotta put that on there too, because this is not the complete project. Part 1. Built June 5th, 2026. Over 1 million. Oh, It's not using up the air. Over 1 million blocks mined. Some other stats from that were 11,000 buckets of water placed. 20 beacons for full coverage. What else can we say about this lake? Oh. Home to Stripey. Stripey? Stripey. Stripey? Maybe Stripey? Spelling? Home to Stripey. There we go. Sign. Like. Put that there. Perfect. We won't be able to put any torch flowers down here. But I think that's a good spot for it. So anyone ever gets the world download, wants to look for all of the locations for these, that's where that is. The cave right there. All right, now we take off. Yes, we can. Getting better and better at taking off from the water. All right. So there's that one. Cross that one off. Next up, I think it's we're headed to the Nether. All right, and we're going to go this way. Now, the question is, for those who are familiar with the city, did you see the spoilers? There was a project that's not yet been out on video that you may have seen in the corners. Did look at it a little bit. We're gonna go through this portal. And we've got one. We don't have a lot of Nether projects because building in the Nether is a challenge. We do have one though. Going to go see. It's this one over here. And now this one is a monument all unto itself, but we also need to explain why it's here. Kind of gassed. Hope we didn't just lose part of the exterior. Oh boy. Now I'm nervous. Because on the outside, and this was probably not the best design choice. In front of the lava, there are glass panes. So if this building gets shot at by gas, those glass panes, first thing to break. Anyways, so this build, this right here, there used to be a bastion here, but I tore the bastion down. And I built this monument on top of it. Now, the reason why we tore down the bastion was because when I was first going to a bastion in this world, this bastion was the first one I went to, and I died. And this is where I lost the first set of diamond gear for this world. So I was really sad because I'd been trying to keep all of the first gear, but I thought in order to really make it a worthwhile thing to save, I had to at least use it for something. And I used it here. And then I died in lava. I was running away from a piglin brute and then got hit, fell into this pool of lava. It wasn't quite right here, but it was somewhere in this area. Fell into that pool of lava, died, lost the diamond gear, So that's why my diamond gear is the second set of diamond gear that I had, not the first set of diamond gear, because the first set of diamond gear was lost in this place. And we seem to have some soul sand under here, so that's kind of nice. Gotta find a good place, probably in here. That might be the place to do it. I know we've got a little piglin baby in here. Okay. It's really hard with these shaders to see where the black glass ends, but that's where that is. So we're just gonna have to find it when we get done. Well, let's put this lectern right here. This is the spot for that. And we're gonna put these here. Yeah. There's a block there. Okay. Do that. I'm hoping these don't catch fire. Book and quill. And I always do this. You would think after how many times have we done this? 10? I would know. So another Bastion Memorial. Well, built May 26, 23. The site of the destruction. No. Original diamond armor set lost to lava due to poor planning. There we are. Sign and close. Another bastion. All right. Take our gear and let's see. This is the exit. Ow, ow, ow. We may die here again. No. All right. We can leave. Leave this place. There's lots of good places to view it. It's actually best to view it from, I think, this side, because the blue colors from being in the Soul Sand Valley really make the rest of the orange and red stand out. But now it's time to return to the overworld, and I'm pretty sure we go here. Ow, ow, ow. Stop hitting me. Oh my goodness. We're gonna die. We're gonna pretend that didn't happen. Unbelievable. I was not paying attention to where my health was or my food was. Too busy touring. All right. Forget piglin brutes. Piglins by themselves are nothing to pretend you don't have going on around you. Now, I could reuse my recovery system to get here to go in there, but I think considering we don't have that far to go, we can just walk in, pick it up, and it's all good. They do so much damage. Yes, they do. They, especially considering, I mean, I think it's just you need the nether chest plate. Chest plate does so much protection. So we should, yeah, we should be right outside this door. It's looking at my golden carrots. Those are my golden carrots. How dare you? Kill me and take my golden carrots. Oh, and my gear. and you got my box. Give me back my stuff. Can't be having my shulker box. It's rude. I might die again here. Let's see. Hard to tell if I have everything, but it's looking pretty good. I think that's the right number of shulker boxes. Got our bed, got the ender chest, got our tools. Oh, that's good. Okay. We don't need to take those with us. Everything else is all good. Oh, I should have just dropped the golden carrots. That would have saved me. We could have distracted them. All right. Next up. Going to the to the roof. We're first going to go. We've got stop at stop to make in the desert. We're almost to the end of our little trip down memory lane. Or the chronicling of the world and what we have worked on. Follow the torches. Oh. Yeah. Thanks, Sunburned Relic. Yeah, yeah. And Celebrity Sailboat. Agree with you both. Just putting in little details, little things. Because these are all things, you know, I mean, I think about them when I go to these places, but nobody, well, some of them are things that have been talked about, but some of them are just details that I know, but I don't necessarily always explain. All right, we're here. Oh, yeah. Okay. We were going. So, this one, you know, it's our desert temple build. I had planned, or I had thought, didn't necessarily plan it, but I was thinking that it would go much deeper than it actually was. And the reason why it didn't go as deep as it, because it ended up in a deep slate level, and I didn't want to start spending a lot of time digging through deep slate. But before we got to the deep slate, this is in a lush cave biome, which means you get a lot of clay, and because there's pockets of clay in the lush cave biomes. So if you're ever, it really does show. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, a lot of time. But yeah, so this is in a lush cave biome, and I got so much clay from it. So we're going to, I think we'll just put a book on this lectern down here. Because this was originally supposed to have a book. Well, the reason it doesn't have a book is because I stole the book. Part of the story. Oh wait, all right, here we go. So, reimagined desert temple built March 1st, 2023. In a lush cave. Let's do this. Mined through a lush cave and got all the clay. Yeah, so much clay. So earlier we walked down those staircases in the original mine where there were all the clays in the wall. That clay in the wall of that staircase, in the walls of that staircase, all came from this lush cave. Do I like the new tree set that's coming soon? Which structures do you think it would be good for? I Well, I do like the... I'm always happy with new blocks. We'll start there. I'm always happy with new blocks. I do wish that the wood type color was maybe different than gray, but there's a lot of advantages to having gray fences. That is something that we don't have. And I think that's one thing that I have wished for, because you do have the gray bark for acacia wood, but the fences are all orange. So I think that's good. I had wished for maybe like a dark blue, maybe, or purple. I don't know. But gray is good too. I think there's going to be a lot of uses for that. I think it'll be useful because you have a lot of walls, gray walls, but you don't have gray fences. And that gives you a lot of flexibility in designing pillars and things like that. So probably be useful for that. The different colors for leaves is good. You know, brown leaves, golden leaves. Those are all things that people have wanted for a long time. Got a spelling error that we're just leaving up here. Let's fix that. Nope. There we go. And then what else? There was something else I was going to say about this desert temple. This was the part that I'd written down. There was something I was going to add that I hadn't written down. Oh, maybe going to be deeper, but I didn't want to dig too deep slate. There we go. Close. Now, you'll hear when I place this on here, you hear the pistons? So, oh. Alright. So wait, we'll wait for that light to turn off. But that's because, well, actually, we could... Oh, wait. Behind here, there's a whole mechanism to fire off the TNT. If there was TNT left, there'd be TNT dropping down from there when we took the book off. We don't have... We do have pots here. We should go get some pots so we can put our torch flowers. We need a green wood too. Yes, yep. A green wood would be amazing. Because we have the nether woods are sort of blue and sort of red, but they're not dark colors, they're light colors. So we've got yellow, we've got orange, we have mangrove wood, which is dark red. Forgot about that one. Pink. We don't have dark blue. Here we are. Now, pretty sure, because I've gone through these chests recently, that there is one in here that has... No? Maybe not. Maybe I... maybe I don't have them here. I mean, we have pots everywhere because they're all over. Well, we won't worry about it. See, we got all these pots out here. Now, the next one that we're going to put a marker for is not this direction. Is it this? Yeah, it is. Right over here. Now, we're going to first go down. I got my desert wheat farm. So I think where we're going to put the lectern is down at this end. We've got this glass. One thing I didn't talk about in the when I was doing the world tour was this little glass structure. I had originally intended this for something else, and I'm trying to remember where I was going to put this. I forget what build I was working on, but I had thought I was going to put it in a different build, and then I never did put it in that build, and so it just was sitting in a creative world, just an idea. And then I built this, and I thought, you know what, this is a perfect thing to put in the back here. But I want to put our lectern not here. I want to put our lectern actually in here. Potentially. Maybe not. That might not be the spot. Maybe we'll put it in the hallway that leads down. Yeah, a green stair slab. Yeah, we don't have anything like that yet. We're gonna have the green wool. This would be the perfect spot for the lectern, but we have this lever here, and we can't do anything with that lever without causing a major problem. So there's no good place here. No, there is. Maybe we'll put it. We've got these lights here. So if we were to... I don't want to interrupt that. That's an important... For water. And we put this here. Yep, we can do that. Maybe... we go... Let's do this. That, and then that. There we go. Book and quill. Okay. A little wheat farm. Built. July 23rd, 2024. All right. The room has 140 pillars. I feel like that's important to note. It's a lot of pillars. Took a long time to build those pillars. And it has 140 pillars, and it took, and no, and it, there we go, and it took over, all right, it took 80 hours to build, not counting the time spent digging it out. All right. Little wheat. No. The wheat farm. Wheat farm? Do we have enough space for that? Yep. I'm close. There we go. Now, we do need our decorative blocks. How do we want to do this? Probably that. These here. Is it always going to be in that spot? No matter what. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Question is, do we disguise these think we do. No, maybe. I have a question. Do I usually put close to each other with simulation distance so that they all work where you go AFK? That would be a smart thing to do. But no, I've not done that with the farms here. This farm is completely isolated. Other farms in my city are so spread out that they're too spread out to where you have to either be, you can only be really at maybe 1 or 2, but you can't be at all of them. I had thought I was going to have them all close enough together, but they're not. But it would be a smart thing to do for sure. All right, here's the other thing that I didn't show when I did the world tour. Which is storage room for this one. So you can see here, well, here's the outside of this build. This is the ceiling. You can kind of see the size of the room that we dug out. This is a storage room. I have come through and taken out a lot of stone, but let's see. I think, yeah, so all of these are still full. So from this row down, those are all full of stone still. And I think I have, yeah, we've got some iron blocks, some gold blocks. So I'm thinking that what we're going to do is I'm going to have a stream on maybe Monday. Maybe Monday we'll do it. We're going to go through and I've got a bunch of little rooms like that filled with blocks. We're going to bring all of the blocks in to the main storage room, so we'll have everything in one place. Going to be a big cleanup project. And we might fix the iron farm in my starter base area. Let me just double check that we don't have anything else in this location. So we've done the nether bastion. That's done. Check. Done that. Desert temple. Check. The wheat farm. Check. I think the last one, last stop, is the medieval city. Headed off in the wrong direction. My little medieval city. At the time that I built it, traveling off 24,000 blocks seemed like a good way to really separate it from the rest of my building locations. The problem is that now that I'm done building in it, it's separated from the rest of my building locations by a long distance. So it takes forever to get there. So we're going to have to go line it up. We got to go 3,000 blocks this direction, which is a long time. I have to make sure I'm staying in a straight line. You can usually tell with the floor, but sometimes you get thrown off. But there were times when I was out here building and I would die and I'd walk these 3,000 blocks. It's a long ways to walk. It's a long ways to fly, but it's a really long ways to walk. But getting back to the question about the farms, I did do a project, not in this world, I just did it in a completely separate, brand new world, where I built, yeah, 3,000, where I built 36 farms as a challenge, and it was, could I get them Gotta get them all built within 36 hours. Or no, it was 24 farms in 36 hours. Yeah. And for that, they were all built within a space. I forget how big it was, but they were all really close together. So you could AFK up for all of them. And maybe I should do something in this world like that. It was a pretty fun project. Didn't quite do as much as I wanted to, but starting fresh in a brand new world and then trying to build 36 farms is a big challenge. Here we are. The medieval city. This is probably one of my favorite projects. I was ready to finish it up and go back to my main city build, but I was also really sad when we finished this one and I left it. So I got really attached. So this is why there's a benefit to having it all in the same world, is that it's there to visit. You don't even have to go anywhere. We got our castle here. And we can go up. Let's go up. So that way we can look out over our city. I can climb stairs. Promise. Here we go. There we are. Our city. I say city, it's probably more of a town. So for this one, I started with, we're going to take a look at the statistics because look at time's broken. All right. So stone, maybe this shows you, I started off first couple of videos, I was using just wood tools, and you can see from the number of times broken, the 89, 70, 62, which is a lot. There's a lot of breaking of those tools to be able to get things. Just to give an idea of how much I used those tools when I was first starting out. Even though we only built a couple of builds. So we did that house. Let's drop down because we did 5 houses at first, and the first house that we did was this one. It did look a little bit different. It was just this part of the house. So you'd walk in, this wall went all the way. Enderman. My goodness. The wall went right across here. That was that house. And then we had this house over here. This one right here. This one. I think. Maybe it was that one. So it was that one, that one, that one, and that one, maybe? But this is really what inspired me to get going on my main city, was getting this project completed, because you just kind of walk through and it's so much fun to be able to see different parts of it, and just stretching out around. There's an Enderman taking gravel from the walls. That's probably why I shouldn't be using gravel. But unlike my main city, this one's got a lot of changes in the terrain. I didn't do a lot of flattening here, which is good. But we gotta find a place to put our book, and I think we're going to want to go over here. Maybe not over here, maybe. I don't know that we want to go down. We want it to be someplace good. Maybe we'll put it up in the castle. That might be the spot for it. This was the storage room. And this seems like the perfect spot to put it. We just walked in and I thought, that's the place. That's the place to put this. That's not the one we want. We want, not that one either. Book and quill. All right. So let's do this. Yeah. Medieval. 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 Uh-oh. Medieval. 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 I feel like that's not the right way. City project. City. Built. Well, now that's tricky. Started. I think we should say started November 22nd, 2024. Completed. That would have been... When would that have been? Should do a quick check here. When was that completed? Let's see. July 5th, 2025. It's an interesting date. All right. And then some special notes about this. Well, we started with, oh, I did started with wood tools and wood tools and worked through the different ones all the way to the right. Oh, thanks, Relic. Yeah, I really like it. And that is a challenge, Ethan. That is a challenge to be able to be in the same phase without sacrificing the build. Yeah. All right, we're gonna close that. Medieval. I don't think I'm spelling. We may have some spelling errors in this book. Just gonna leave that at that. It's a good storage room. What did I leave behind? I left behind a few things. Didn't take all of it. I think over here. Oh, we got some dirt. Sea pickles. We should probably take the sea pickles back with me. Yeah, let's take the sea pickles. We need sea pickles. Rewatch that video. Ah, yeah. I'm glad you liked it because it was a fun project. I had so much fun building it. All the different parts of it was fun. And I really like these little ballistae down there. But all right, we can sleep here. And I like the terrain. Really, putting in the terrain was the final. Well, putting in the terrain was the last thing that I did, but it also really helped complete everything. But Endermen have been going to town on it. Gravel's missing there. I really need to stop using gravel in my builds or my terrain. Like this iron farm. You gotta check it out. Make sure that there's not been any lightning to destroy it. A few months ago, I came through here and lightning had burned down part of this one. I had to fix it. But all right. I think those are all of the locations that we're going to go to. That I wanted to go. Well, I mean, to go to all of them. I mean, and we did go pretty much everywhere in this world. Yeah. Yeah, the iron farm was good. It was a good build. What I need to do is build that iron farm. Well, I need to put that iron farm design into my iron farm in my main city, because the one that I have is a small one and it works pretty well, and there's been a lot of iron from it because of how much building I did around it. But if I had had that big iron farm, the iron farm at the medieval city is about 4 times, well, it has 4 slots for iron golems as opposed to just one, or 1 set of villagers. 4 sets of villagers as opposed to just 1 set of villagers. So that's another project, future project number 169. Or maybe that was 173, I can't remember. So many future projects that I gotta do. Mostly because I was pretty bad about completing projects. If I just complete projects wholly 100% every time, I'd have a lot fewer future projects to complete. But I'm always like, I'm 95% of the way there. That's good. All right. Home sweet home. We got a full inventory here. Now, is it going to be daytime still? Yeah. And we're here. All right. We'll end up over here. I think. Might be it. No. Yeah. If we actually go over to the iron farm, yeah, we can start charging Stripey rent. Here's the current iron farm. This is actually, I decorated this iron farm. Most of the time I don't put much decoration. Oh, I've taken all the iron out for our beacons that we did. But what I think I could do is, if we, well, just drop down here. I'm thinking I could build the big iron farm down here. This is the perfect spot to do it. We could put, because you just put it in the center, villagers, you know, in the 4 corners. Basically the same iron farm that we have in the hardcore world, we could put in down there. And we could still leave this one up here. Because it, you know, it is decorated. So it fits with the build. And I thought that's what this door was, so I didn't get too turned around. All right. I think that's probably where we're going to leave things for today. Thank you everybody for sticking around and for watching for all of the time that you have been watching. It's been a lot of fun to be in this world. I've been working on it. As I said, this is the 4-year anniversary today. So 4 years and hopefully another 4 years. Can't wait to see what else we're going to be building. We have made my main focus for this year is this city. I want to get this city done this year. And I don't know if I'll be able to, because I keep taking on bigger and bigger projects in it and they take more and more time. But hopefully we'll be able to get it done. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Celebrity Steelboat. Does seem like a great space for another iron farm. Yeah, it's the perfect spot for another iron farm. And you're welcome. I'm glad to do a Saturday stream. Glad everybody could make it today. Thanks, Sunburn Relic, Celebrity Sailboat, and everybody else who is chatting around. I will be back streaming on Monday. I've got a special stream planned. Not another special stream. We're just going to be back in this world. we got two things that I want to do. I want to fix up the starter base area, which has been burning down. And then I want to go through and get all of my storage, miscellaneous storage things. Celebrity Sailboat, thank you so much for the gift. And the happy 4 years. Thank you. Y'all, my individual storage rooms all consolidated down into the single storage room that you see to the left behind me to my left, or your left, one of those two. So that's what we're going to do Monday. There won't be a stream on Wednesday. And what that means is that I might end up doing another weekend stream next weekend. So good and bad news. But yeah, that's the plan. There'll be a video out later today. Keep an eye out for it. And until then, have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. Thanks, Relic. Thanks, chat. We'll see you next time.